You know how you're always looking for that like peace, that inner peace. And we talk about self-love all the time. It's my jam. And you hear me talk about grounding and gratitude, but I'm dedicating this entire podcast to grounding and gratitude because it is such a huge, huge staple to abundance, peace, and everything in between. Welcome to episode 57 of the Positivity Experience. Grounded in gratitude, baby.
Check it out.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 57. I think I said 57 in the beginning. 57 of the Positivity Experience. I am your girl, Lori, and I am recording this late at night on a Saturday night. And I'll tell you the coolest story today. So Paul and I went to the UPS store to drop off some things. We had to return some things. Paul and I don't usually run errands together. It's just not our jam. But I was like, hey, come and run this errand with me. He's like, okay, fine. Actually, there was a whole conversation between it. But yes, he finally went. And so we go to the UPS store. Got these heavy boxes. We're walking in. We had this mattress that we were returning. Not the really nice Lucid mattress that I got for Santa, but a different one. No big deal, but I had to put these trash bags around it. It was just cumbersome. So we get in. There's a bunch of people. Everybody's trying to get there before 2:30. And as we're standing there, actually, when we pull up, this lady's pulling up and she's got a sports car and she's got this carpet. It's rolled up, but it's like hanging out the window. It's hilarious. I was like, oh boy, I know those times. So we go in. So she's like lugging this in. It's falling. I'm like, oh my God, let me help you. So I stand it up and I can't see what it looks like. It's all wrapped up. And she goes, yes, oh my gosh, it's so tough. Like, I got to get this delivered back to Amazon and I got to do this. And Paul and I had been we hadn't really been looking. We had been discussing about getting a lighter rug, but something contemporary, just talking about it like months ago, like nothing serious, just like, hey, it's just on the roster. And so I said, well, she goes, yeah, let me show you. Oh, no, she didn't say, let me show you. I said, well, what does it look like? I said, oddly enough, Paul and I had talked about getting it and it looks like it might be the right size. She goes, yeah, well, let me show you. She goes, I tell you, it's stunning. It's beautiful. It's just a little shade different from what I wanted from the house, but it's beautiful. I got it on Amazon. I was like, okay. And so she pulls it up on her phone because it's all wrapped up. So I'm not trying to look at it. And I was like, oh my God, that's beautiful. Like it looks almost marbly. And if you follow me on Instagram, official Lori Wheeler, you'll see it in my stories. I'm going to actually post it how it's laid out now because we bought it from her at UPS. And Paul is the sort of like guy who he's got a really good eye for like designing. He's an artist. Like it's just his body, So it just so happened energetically that he was with me for this. And because I could have sent him a picture of it and everything, but he was standing there and he's like, well, how big is it? So I pull it back on Amazon. And by the way, she showed me her house. Her name's Beth. She showed me her house, like a picture of her house. I was like, oh my God, that is beautiful. Like in my brain, her interior was how my house is. It was clean. It was minimalized, but it was like this light tan. And of course, she lives on the water. She had the fireplace going in the middle, her two big ginormo bay windows. Like had I designed like a perfect living room for me, like that was it. I was like, oh my God. And I literally told her, I was like, your house is beautiful. And I mean, it was stunning. And so we knew that her style right then and there, I was like, oh, this is going to be something that contemporary is what we're looking for. And we knew that the style, and it just was kind of the colors that we were looking at. And Paul's like, yeah. And she's like, well, I paid $170 for it, which the carpet that we had was like years old in there, like a rug, throw rug, and $170 on Amazon. And it's a nice rug. It's 8x10. And so Paul's like, yeah, we'll get it. So I PayPal'd her money. I was like, that's right. I go to the UPS store to buy my rugs. And I'm grateful for that. And I was grateful for the run-in with her. And I was grateful for all of that. And that's legitimately why I wanted to dedicate, not because of my rug, but I want to dedicate this entire episode to gratitude and staying grounded. And I got to tell you, last week, it kind of stemmed from my friend Boris, right? And Boris sent me a text message like later on Sunday or Monday morning, I can't remember, of this past week. And actually he had called me, but I was in the middle of something. And so I kind of, he left me a beautiful message, and he said about how, the podcast made a lot of sense to him and how he really loved it. And I got to tell you, his words in that text message, and I never want any of you to think that, oh, just, I'm sure you hear this all the time. Okay, first of all, no, it's not like people are just busting down my door with like, oh my God, you're amazing. Like nobody, and that's fine. They don't have to. But so I got to explain to you that when Boris sent me that text message, I was on like such a cloud nine, not like from an ego for myself. Okay. So this is why gratitude, I want you to be very clear in gratitude, and we're going to go into this, but I need to just shout a few people out in the beginning because you guys are my why as to why I do this podcast. Everybody listening, you are just as important as my closest friends. I got to tell you. And because you don't have to tune into this podcast. You don't have to follow any of my stuff. You don't have to do those things, but you do it. And I don't ever want you to think that you're just some random number in a car, you're not. Okay. So when Boris sent that was amazing. Then like Maria, another one of my friends, client friends, but she's my friend. She hit me with it. And then I got to tell you, and I'm going to read this email. Okay. And it's important. And this isn't about me. Okay. I want you to know that this isn't about people going, oh my God, you're amazing. This is about my why and how grateful I am to some people, to all of you. But these specific people really reached out, email, DM, calling me. And so I want to read this to you. It says, thank you. That's the title of the email. Good afternoon. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for your podcasts. I am a nurse who is struggling more than I thought during this pandemic, and your podcasts have changed my life for the better! ! Your podcasts are so relatable for me in so many ways. I feel like a ton of bricks are lifted off of my shoulders from listening to just a few of your podcasts. I accidentally stumbled upon your podcast on my day off this morning. Thank you for what you do. I wish I could have a one-on-one conversation with you. I know that would be so beneficial in my road to self-healing. It is a journey, and I am here for the long haul to help myself and other people who I see struggling every day. And her name is Laurie. I'm a Laurie. She's a Laurie. And I got to tell you, when she sent me that email, I literally almost busted out in tears. Okay. And again, because it's her. It's like when Boris reached out to me, when Maria reached out to me, when Laurie reached out to me. It's not about anything else but seeing and hearing that hope, that motivation, that inner dialogue for them. And then I had a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful client today named Kim in San Diego. Hey, Kim in San Diego. And she is going to go, she's really good with succulent plants. And she said that by listening to the podcast, it's given her some motivation. And she's like, I'm going to go start doing this. Like, I'm really good at it. I'm going to propagate some things. And those things, guys, the amount of joy, I can't even express to you. And that's why gratitude is your best friend. It's not about you, but it's about seeing the growth of others around you. With nothing, I expect nothing in return. Nothing. Okay? And gratitude, you have to understand, gratitude is about that. Gratitude is being grateful with zero expectation. Because if you're having an expectation, it's not gratitude. Gratitude comes with no hidden agenda. Gratitude comes from allowing yourself to have zero ego, zero anything. And when someone compliments you, and I know when you have trauma, it's hard to hear the compliment because you don't believe it. That's why we deal in self-love. Because my goal for these podcasts, seriously, is for you to dig deep inside of you and find that inner peace and that inner love. And I mean, I'm going to do the best I can with giving you some tools. Because just like Laurie and just like Kim and just like other people, Boris, Maria, all of you, you guys have the power inside of you to do so much. And that doubt kind of, it doesn't negate the gratitude, but, we get all so stuck on, and I mean, me too, right? I'm still writing my book. I'm still, all these things are happening. And yeah, there's things you got to do. You got to pay taxes. You got to do this. You got to pay the bill. Yeah, of course. You're trying to grow. You're trying to find balance. Love it. I'm here for it. But you always, 365 days of the year, you have to start your morning with 10 minutes of gratitude. Period. If you don't follow my YouTube, consider it. It's just like this, the positivity experience. I do little like 5 to 7 minute, maybe 10, like little vlogs Monday through Friday. So it kind of piggybacks on the podcast too. But I talked a little bit about the gratitude or the 5 journals, but especially the gratitude journal. That's what I really want you to just dive into. This is not doing it on an iPad. This is not doing it in your notes. This is not verbally speaking it or typing it on a computer. This is pen to a pad. Get a nice looking or a spiral notebook, whatever. And 10 minutes every morning, every single morning, 10 minutes, and you write the things that you're grateful for. Now, I've had people go, well, let's see, are there any prompts? No, there's no prompts for gratitude. Yes, I'm actually working on a whole journal-y type thing later in the year for you guys, if you want them. But here's the thing. If you are not writing the things that you're grateful for that you have to overthink about, I said if you're not writing, when you are writing, you have to think about the things that it's not just like the obvious things. Oh, my family, my friends, my job, love it. I'm here for it. Put it down there. But it's the things that you sometimes take for granted. And it's simple things. So let's say you get up and let's say you're like, oh my gosh, here's that other slipper I was looking for. Listen, I say slippers because I have the thing with robes and slippers. It's this fetish I have. It's just my jam. And you go, oh my gosh, I found it. I'm so happy. Or you found the matching pair of socks. Or you know what? You just happened to take a shower and the water just hit just right. I mean, it was warm or it was cool and you had that scent and the lather was good. Don't just assume that those things are supposed to happen. Stop it. There's so much to be grateful for. You don't need prompts. If you need prompts for gratitude, you better book like 87 million sessions with me because your gratitude, you have to remember every brick. Well, I guess it's not a brick. I've never been to Egypt. I don't know what it's made of, but I'm going to call them bricks or stones. Okay. Every stone in a pyramid is valid. Every stone is just as important as the stone above it or the one below it. Every bit of grout, I'm sure that they didn't have grout, but you know what I'm saying, the things that make them stick together on the pyramids. Every bit of that, every flaw, every misstep, every redo, beautiful and grateful. So you don't just get grateful for your end goal. I mean, that's great. But you got to be grateful for every step on the journey, including the things that don't make sense, including the things that hurt, including the things that sometimes you go, oh my God, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Right? I think we've all been there where you're like, what the hell? Why? And I told you, if you haven't listened to last week's episode, it's episode 56. It's on not needing to know other people's why. And, it's so important that you just take pause and be appreciative of the things that you already have, but not just materially, right? You're listening to this podcast. It means you're on this side of the dirt, right? You're not below it. Well, that's enough to be grateful for right now, even if it seems so dark right now that you're even questioning that. And I know that there's some of you out there who are listening because you've reached out to me. And and I know some of you reached out and said how much better that you're starting to feel with a little bit of the gratitude. It becomes intoxicating. It's intoxicating. That inner peace that you're like, oh my gosh, okay, yeah, self-love, absolutely. But you know what comes with self-love? Gratitude, baby. And when you're writing 10 minutes in this journal, if you tell me I don't have time to do it, I'm going to call BS on that 100% of the time because you can get up 10 minutes earlier. 24, this fake time, but in human speak, 24 hours in the day. Nobody has any extra time. It's still 24 hours. I know some of us have to fill it differently. Some of us have to fill it in a whole different way. But if you better carve out the first 10 minutes of your day Well, really like 15 because you want to do your stretching, your breathing, and your mantra. But 10, 15 minutes, then get up earlier. Get up earlier every morning with 10. And you know what? You can even do it later if you want. I mean, always do it in the morning. If you want to add to it later, you can. You don't have to. Because you see what happens is when you start doing this throughout the day or starting your day this way, you will start to rewire your defaulted system that's been screwed up from trauma, situations, fears, anxieties, depressions, right? Because now that's that negative thinking, that all or nothing thinking, that all of these things is now like part of a default system, right? You just kind of do it without thinking. Just boom. Well, that rolls off easy, of course. But remember, everything was brand new at some point in your life. You don't remember it, but when you just rolled over for the first time, well, damn. Okay, you did it. It was hard. That was hard. But think about that. Before you crawled, but when you first started to be able to read or see or hear or understand things, that was hard, right? It was difficult, right? But it became a habit, right? It just becomes a default for you. You start to do it without even thinking. Well, that's how it is with negative thinking and obsessive thinking. Well, again, that comes with other things too. It's not like be present and all of a sudden things go away. It doesn't really work that way because you got to be consistent, but I got to tell you, you have to be grateful for the steps that seem the most uncertain. And when you root yourself and you start changing that default over to gratitude and seeing things a little bit more positive, because I promise you, this is a fact. I'm making you a promise in this. And I don't do a lot of promising when it comes to I will on certain things that I know that will for sure. And this is one of them. When you start to create gratitude as your default, and again, you did not get here overnight. This might take you years. This might take you weeks. It could take you decades. I don't know. But consistency is going to be your key with your gratitude. If you are not grateful and always seeking something to fill the lack of gratitude, you're going to keep searching for it. You're going to keep chasing it. You're going to keep chasing a feeling that you, and solely you, have the power to heal. And when you heal, and as you heal, I shouldn't say when you heal because you should always be healing for the rest of your life. But as you heal, the things that you think that you want right now or that you feel that you want to align with, if in fact you align with it, all those things come so much easier. Because here's the deal. And again, I promise we'll do an entire episode on manifestation because it's my jam. It's what I do. And so now, that being said, when I say manifestation, well, I'll talk about that later, but I'll get sidetracked and I'll be like, oh, well, because then I'll go on like a 45-minute rant about manifestation. I promise I'll do a whole different podcast on it. But it kind of goes hand in hand with gratitude though, because in a space of gratitude, you can't be angry. I mean, you can maybe be annoyed. You can have a little anxiety, but I promise you this, if you do this every day, I'm not going to say, every day after 3 weeks. No, because it's going to be different for people. But it has to be consistent. You have to do it daily. But when that happens and you start to rewire and kind of change that default, you start seeing things from a positive perspective. You're walking on a beach, okay? It's just nice. 75 degrees outside, got a cool breeze. It's nice. It feels great. You can hear the waves and the water is crystal clear. The sand is white. Just that right there. Just hold that. Like just if you just thought of it and thought, oh, that'd be lovely. Don't worry about, but how would I get there? That's not what I'm saying. Just that little short blurb. Find that space when you're doing your gratitude. Find that space when you're doing meditation. Find that space, that feeling. Stop chasing things. Stop chasing people. Okay? Start aligning. And in order to align, you must first be grateful. I mean, there's a lot of other recipes and ingredients to go into that recipe. But my loves, I got to tell you, love bugs, there's so much around you. Just right now while you're listening to this. I don't care where you're listening. If you're driving, if you're laying in bed, if you're, well, I don't care. I don't care what country you're in. I don't care where you are. Just look around you right now. Just take note. Do not, if like, let's say you're in traffic, I don't know. Don't look around and be like, well, yeah, I'm in traffic. I just want you to look around. What colors do you see? Right now, wherever you are. What colors do you see? Do you hear any sounds? Is there something on television? And just stay there for a second. Number one, that's the art of staying present, right? And I promise we'll do a whole podcast on that too. That's the art of staying present. And now just look around and just be grateful for one thing. One. I mean, hey, if you're feeling froggy, leap. Go do 2, 3, 4, 5 things. But look at one thing. And look at it on how you're looking at it. Okay? Let's say you look at it and you're like, I mean, yeah, I guess I'm grateful for this. I mean, it's a little messed up. Okay, stop it. Stop. Just be grateful. Okay? Now, same situation. Look around again. Look at something that, I don't know, I don't want to say that you're not grateful for, but you're just kind of like, it's all right. Like maybe you don't even like it. Maybe it's just something. Okay? Now, take whatever that is, and I want you to look at it and find a silver lining in it. Find something positive with it. Find something. Do not say there's nothing positive in it. Find something positive. I want you to be able to start changing that default. And you don't realize that you have it in you, man. I told you this, and people are always so baffled. I just wouldn't change my past. Yeah, it sucked at times, a lot of times. And I will forever have some lasting effects and lasting anxieties behind it. Yep, that's what it did for me. Okay? But the silver, gorgeous lining is that because my dog Ringo was my anchor, I've done so much to help animal rescues. You know, animals are my jam. Okay? Because of all the stuff and the traumas and everything I went through with my dad and so much more. I'm here today to talk to you, to try to help you, to get emails and text messages from you guys that are finding your peace and your joy. I doubt I would have been here if I didn't have that. So when I say that to you is I want you to look at something in the situation or something that you don't like right now, that you feel miserable about, that you're angry about, that you're stressed about. Just one. Okay? And I want you to find the positive. And don't start with the nonsense like, there ain't nothing. No, that's not how this is going to go. That's not going to work on rewiring. Okay? Even in the darkest of times, there is something positive. Even if you don't see it right now. Even if it means, well, that sucked. You had to move. And now you found like, oh my gosh, now I found the best friends I've ever met in my life. I don't know. I'm just using that as an example. But I promise you, if you want to kind of shift that default of negativity, and if you want to sit in peaceful and staying present, gratitude. And gratitude is grounding. Grounding. If you've ever heard somebody say, oh my God, I just need to ground. That's because, when you get into worry and you get into flight mode and all that stuff, that's you're being all flighty in the air. It's like you're not grounded at all. You feel, and I know some of you are listening to this right now going, I'm definitely not grounded. You feel like, oh my God, I feel like I'm like jumped out of an airplane and I don't know, am I going to be able to pull this parachute? Like what's happening, right? That, oh my God, that uncertain feeling. Okay. That's not grounding, right? And because you're in your head. So I know if you're driving, you can't just like kick off your shoes and like step on the ground, but you can pull over. You can pull over. You're driving right now. Find a nice little hilly area. I do not care the weather. Now, if you're at the beach, put your toes in the sand. If not, put your toes in the snow. Put them on the ground. Take your socks off. Take your boots off. Take your shoes off. Just walk to the ground. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Inhale that positive. Exhale that negative. Okay? And guys, that's grounding. Okay? Sitting, journaling, reading, writing, grounding, deep breathing. You're key to so much in life. Yeah. Do that 5 or 6 times. That's good stuff right there. And that's grounding. There's so much that you go, oh my God, I just feel out of control. And then when you go to ground, you're still stressing about grounding. Don't make this a chore. Be there, man. Be there. Feet in the ground, deep breathing, journaling. Get inside to that inner child, baby. Be grateful for that inner child. Be connected with that inner child. This isn't about anybody else. This isn't about trauma. This isn't about the things and the bills that you have to do. This is about pausing and sitting in gratitude. Just be grateful. I'm not asking you not to have some kind of feeling and not to be mad and not to be sad and not to be... No, it's okay. It's okay. You got to feel to heal. But it's imperative that you take the time out of those worries and those fears and just ground. Just get connected. Get connected to the inner child, connected to the ground, connected to God, connected to the universe. Just ground. This is the power. And I promise you, I do not care how much money you do or do not have in the bank. This is priceless. You cannot buy it because you don't need to buy it. You have it. You are wielding so much power, Harry. It's like Harry Potter here. You have it. Lori, I know you're listening. I love you. I love every one of you here. Boris, I know you're listening. And yes, part of this is about you. I appreciate you. And Kim, man, I cannot wait to see these succulents. And I can't wait to come out there and visit you in San Diego because it's San Diego and I know we're going to go to wineries. Guys, I'm grateful. You be grateful. You be grateful. You know why you should be grounded in gratitude? Because you're amazing. Be grateful for your flaws. Be grateful for the number on the scale. Be grateful for all of you. Every single one of you has so much power. And you carry it. You have it, man. Let's do this. Let's do this. Get grounded. Get honest with yourself. Be grateful in everything that you're doing, good, bad, and indifferent. And know that those things that you think, I don't know what I like. I don't know what my purpose in life is. Stop. Stop chasing it. Let's just pause a little bit. Right? Seriously. And I want you to take this, replay this podcast on loop if you need to. And it is going to be in a little bit of a little motivational thing on my YouTube. And I'm telling you, just listening to this right now, this is me giving you, yes, you, I'm talking to you out there, just you. I'm giving you the permission that somewhere you think you need, somewhere that you think that you're selfish if you do this, somewhere. No. Let me eradicate that for you. Let me be your little elf on your shelf, on your little shoulder here. Okay? I give you permission to be grateful. I give you permission to be risky, to take a leap of faith in your life. I give you permission to do that. Because I'm literally giving you the power, Harry. Here's your wand. I'm going to teach you how to use it. But you have the power. I'm not giving you that. I'm just giving you permission to seek and find it, babes. I love you guys. And I tell you one thing. You got this. Be grateful. Take a deep, deep breath. Kick the shit out of the week. You got this. And start every day until we chat next week with gratitude. Please reach out to me like you've been doing. Email, Messenger, DMs on Instagram, DMs on TikTok. Find me. I want to share this with you. Jump on my YouTube. That's also, like I said, the Positivity Experience. My Instagram is official Lori Wheeler. My TikTok's Lori Wheeler. Okay? Jump on and let me see. Talk to me. Let me see it. I want to hear the gratitude. I want to hear the things that you're doing. You matter to me. Reach out to me, man. I am grateful for you, and go pay that forward with so much gratitude.